This edition of the Impact Podcast is brought to you by ERI. ERI has a mission to protect people, the planet, and your privacy, and is the largest fully integrated IT and electronics asset disposition provider and cybersecurity-focused hardware destruction company in the United States, and maybe even the world. For more information on how ERI can help your business properly dispose of outdated electronic hardware devices, please visit eridirect.com. Welcome to another edition of the Impact Podcast, a very special edition of the Impact Podcast. I'm so honored and lucky to have with us today, direct from Barcelona, Spain, Bernat Añaños. Thank you for being with us, Bernat.
Thank you for having me and having Eura, because I'm representing the whole company, like the 40 people that we have behind. So thanks a lot.
Oh, it's an honor. And I think this might be our first broadcast in 13 years where we're connecting Fresno, California, and Barcelona, Spain. So thank you for staying up late tonight to do this interview. It's truly an honor. And before we get going into your wonderful brand and all the impacts that you're making with this important products that you have, can you share a little bit about your journey and something about yourself so our listeners can learn about you and how you even got here?
Cool. How can I do that? I would say I'm a very sensitive person, and I think these came with me the whole life and all the decisions I made throughout my life. As you said, I'm from Barcelona, so I have this heat inside. I always want to do more and to try to change things. And throughout my life, I tried so many different things, and I was not finding my spot. I was always frustrated I don't have the impact I want to see in the world. I'm spending a lot of time on working for projects that don't have a positive impact. I'm learning a lot. I'm meeting great people. They are not bad products, but I'm not exactly doing what I wanted to do. And since I was a kid, I always imagined myself being president. I always played Lego and doing these elections and stuff, because I thought that you can change things from politics. But then I learned not just from politics, you can change a lot of things from the corporate. You can actually change more things from the corporate. And I learned that when I was doing 6 months traineeship at the European Parliament, and I've seen how slow things are there and how difficult it is to change regulations, and how a lot of steps have to happen to actually see the progress. So then I said, I need to create something. I need to create something that has this impact I want to see. And then is where I met the other co-founder, and we actually matched perfectly, because he was at the same position. We need to create something, a tool that helps a lot of people to transition to a plant-based protein.
Were you already a vegetarian before or a vegan before you founded this company, or that was part of the journey and process?
I was vegan before, and Mark as well. Mark for many years more than me, since he was 17, I think. But I was vegetarian for many years as well. But it came actually very connected in time. I was in that process that, I became vegan, but I had some troubles becoming vegan. I missed some of the products. And then I said, through food, giving tools through food that are delicious, nutritious, and sustainable, obviously, we can change so many people, because my transition was very long. I spent 6 years reducing the amount of protein, animal proteins.
So it was a process and a journey. Yours was a process and a journey.
It was a journey, yeah. And I thought we have to make products that help a lot of people that want to do this transition without losing anything, but having the impact they want to see in the world.
So when did you and Mark get together and have your aha moment to create this amazing brand? And for our listeners and our viewers and our followers that want to find your amazing brand and all the products you're making that look so delicious, I can't wait to try them myself. Please go to www.werafoods Heura foods.com. I'm on the site now. The food looks amazing. When did you and Mark come together and have your aha moment, your joint aha moment?
It was in 2015 that we met in a course, entrepreneurial course, and he had this very like idea of doing plant-based meat, but he did not have like the tools on how to make it happen or how to communicate it, how to deliver it to the world. And I was a bit lost, like after these other jobs I had. And I was, yes, actually it makes a lot of sense. And just as a friend, I was trying to help him. And very naturally, actually, we said, we're doing it together. Like, I mean, you are every day helping me. That's actually doing something together. And then it's when, like from 2015 to 2017, we worked on obviously R&D, which like we spent a lot of time there, on communications, on branding, on everything to make it happen on 2017. That we launched on April
of 2017.
Yeah.
So now we're 4 years into it. It's almost April of 2021. Talk a little bit about the products you have now. And, when I was telling you this off the air, Bernat, I was so excited preparing for this interview today with you because I had the same buzz, the same spiritual feeling when back in 2010, when I was preparing to interview a young man named Ethan Brown. And I have that same feeling about you. Ethan was just starting Beyond Meat then, and he came back on the show in 2013. And I just knew Ethan was going to go to the moon. And now look at Beyond Meat. Their market cap is in the multi-billions, and Beyond Meat is becoming ubiquitous around the United States and around the world. I have that same buzz about you. I look at all the beautiful food you've made on your website. So tell me, like, what products, 4 years in, what's your products and what's become the most popular and where are you selling them?
Before going to the products, just that you mentioned, Ethan, for us, Ethan, it was an inspiration. When we were looking at how we can change the world, we've seen people that were already changing the world, but they were very far. They were in California, most of them. And we went, we have to do something from Barcelona. We have to do something from the Mediterranean. So we have more allies. I would never see, and it's something that we have very clear in the office, we never use competitors when we look at Beyond or any other plant-based brand in the world. We always say allies. And yeah, we have different products, and obviously consumers will make decisions, but at the end, they are allies because they have the exact same mission. And after that, I go to the products. In 2017, we started with chicken range because chickens are the animal, like the most numerous animal group that go to livestock and obviously then to all the process of making food. So we wanted to put out as many animals as we could from the equation of the meat production. So we started with chicken also because it's a very versatile product and it goes everywhere. And now we also have meatballs, beef, and we are almost launching now sausages, nuggets, and mincemeat. So we really want to put all the favorite meat products in a successor way. And we use successor because we don't want to be a substitutive. We want to be a successor because this means we are better in every single vertical. So we are far more sustainable, which when it comes from plants, it's very easy.
Yes.
We are the same delicious. So people enjoy texture, people enjoy while cooking, people enjoy the flavor, people enjoy everything. And also we are much healthier. So anyone in the world can look at our label and say, oh God, like I cannot complain about this. I'm looking at this nutritional profile and I cannot make any myth of plant-based meat is bad, etc. This like surrounding buzz that goes to plant-based. So we put a lot of effort there.
That's incredible. You know, my listeners and people that have followed my story on this podcast for the last 14 years or so know I've been a vegetarian about 41 years, a vegan about 12 years. And I'll tell you what, I mean, it's not political, it's not ideological, it's just personal. I just feel better. When I eat clean, I just feel better. I sleep better. I work better. Life is just better on a plant-based diet. And I'm so excited and looking forward to one day being vaccinated. And I told you, and coming to Spain again, which I love your country, and
Please.
sharing a plant-based meal with you and your partner. I know it's going to be just mind-blowing because I see all these great products. And talk a little bit about what countries you're in. Where did you launch? I assume you launched in your home country, Bernat, in Spain. And then where did you go from there?
We started in Spain because we thought it was a very good way to show and to prove that if we can conquer the mouths of Spaniards, which are meat lovers, like hard meat lovers, we could go anywhere in the world. So first we focused a lot in Spain, but now we are also in Portugal. We are starting next month in France, in Italy, the Netherlands, the UK, Singapore, Hong Kong, Malaysia, Chile, and we are following month, we will also enter in Mexico and Poland. We are placing a lot of effort on expanding and on being a global player as beyond this. So
Wonderful.
we always think that without options, there is no freedom.
Right.
And we have to deliver options. And people have to find beyond, have to find Eura, have to find many other brands and
It's
like
so true.
private label. I don't care. Options.
There's such a huge void in the marketplace for great products like yours and beyond that there's going to be so many winners here because the marketplace desires it. Like you said, it's not a zero-sum game. Together, you're changing the world. Together.
Definitely.
You know, so is it I have so many entrepreneurs that watch this show, listen to the show. Was it hard for you and Mark to go raise money initially, and how difficult is it now? Explain some of that journey on the fundraising side of it.
In terms of fundraising, I think we've done something that is difficult to start with very few money, so just family, friends, and us,
right.
To do everything. So we kind of surrounded by people that wanted to change the world the same as us, and they've seen these guys want to change it. I can put help here. I can put my knowledge, my know-how, and we've done it like that. We also collaborate a lot with universities they had students in it that wanted to change the world. So we didn't use a lot of money at the beginning. And the good thing about Eura is that we sold products from the very first day. So we started from vegan shops and then supermarkets, restaurants, etc. So we kind of get revenue from the very first day.
Wonderful.
Till the last month, we did not fundraise money. Like we've done it through banks and sales.
Wow.
Obviously, banks were a help here.
Right.
It's a fact. But now we are in a moment, also like plant-based movement and the whole scope of what's going on in the world. It's in a moment that we are so honored to be contacted by so many people that actually want to change the world, not just give money, but give money for something that changes the things they want to change in the world. And this is like finding partners in mission. It's not just getting money from a bank, it's getting money, but like at the end, this person is going to be a partner that will help this to be everywhere in the world in more accessible way, more democratic, making all the steps we have to make to do like these like big steps and marathon we need to do.
For our listeners and our viewers that have just joined us, we've got Bernat Añaños with us. He's the co-founder, chief social movement officer of Wera Foods. To find Wera, you go to the www.heurafoods.com. It's in Spanish, it's in Espanol, and English. Hey, listen, what I love on your website is that you call people who want to change the world. This is something I've learned from your website, but I'm going to use it, and I'm going to give you the credit. A good rebel. A good rebel.
Yes.
That's awesome. That's an awesome term.
Yeah, we were looking for this word, this concept that puts a lot of people together. And I think good rebels don't have to be the ones that buy Eura, are the ones that are in the mission of. So beyond meat eaters, whatever plant-based meat eaters, I don't care. We are all good rebels. And the good news here is that every day we are more. And
That's
like
awesome.
the status quo is starting to get a bit nervous because they're seeing, "Ooh, wow, there are millions and millions of people that want to change the world." And they're not just hippie dippies like green stores now. No, it's everywhere in the world. And it's athletes, and it's Lewis Hamilton, and it's Joaquin Phoenix, and it's all these people that have like a voice, and when they rise it, they change things faster. So
100%. And it's people of my generation, boomers, and young people like you, your
yeah,
generation,
everyone.
everyone. It's
My
and
grandma.
you're right. And it's also what people don't understand. And you tell me if you're finding the same thing, is you don't have to eat plant-based 7 days a week, 24/7. If you just want to change a little bit of your diet. I have some friends, they eat plant-based all day, and at night, if they go out with others, they eat whatever they want. And they still feel much better. Much better.
Yep.
It's
See,
great.
I always say step by step. You don't have to be perfect. I
Right.
would like to see a lot of imperfect people, but a lot, not very few perfect people. So something that we have to learn as well, the people that we are trying to push this movement, is to not point people when they commit a mistake. If you can
Right.
understand, like we don't have to point people, we have to clap
No.
and applaud. Like,
Right.
congrats, like you're making a step farther. It's a
Right.
good thing.
Well, now that you're so successful, and you and Mark, I'm sure you're being approached by so many. How do you change the world and do it on your own terms? Do you go public one day like Ethan did, so you can make your brand everywhere, from New York City to Fresno, California to Barcelona and Singapore? Or do you stay private and you can still change the world on your own terms? How are you being approached, and what's your vision on that?
At the end, we are at the very early stage. We're almost 4 years.
Yeah.
We will go. I think we will go public. I think this will happen. Now it's going to be the first round this year, and I think this will boost the plans of being in so many countries and delivering a lot of new products and improving the ones that we already have in the market. Plus, something that it is, we have a product that it's the plant-based meat products, but we have a second product that it's consciousness. And we put the same resources, the same effort, the same team on consciousness. And consciousness means democratizing information, because we know something. We are very disconnected from food. We don't know the impact that food has in the planet, in the animals, and in our health. So we have to democratize this information. So
Right.
there we are trying to make it.
Hey, so talk a little bit. So how many employees do you have now? In the beginning, it was just in 2017, in April, it was just you and Mark. How many employees does Weta have now?
Yeah, in April 2017, we were in a library without office, launching the product, because we didn't want to spend any money in an office, because we were like, it's just two of us. Why are we spending money in an
Right,
office?
smart.
But now we are 39, I think, today, I would say,
Wow.
or 39, 40, because every week we are growing. And at the end of this year, we have to be more than 80. So we have to double this.
Wow.
And like big plans there. And we have the challenge of creating a culture that brings the people that enjoy this culture. And this culture has to be freedom and responsibility. Like people like the little entrepreneurs inside an entrepreneurial company, because this is the way that we understand that we can change things faster.
So talk a little bit about this tragedy that we've all been living through, Bernat. We're all living through the tragic COVID-19 period in world history. This is not American history or Spanish history. This is world history. How has that affected you and Mark as entrepreneurs? How has it affected your brand? And what changes have you made in your corporate culture and in your messaging, if any? I'd love just to hear what lessons have you learned from this whole tragic, unique period that hopefully we never have to live through again in our lifetimes.
Yeah, hopefully not. I would like to start, for me, like when COVID came, obviously it was very bad news, and of everything, the consequences that have had in the health of so many people. It's a bad news. But for me, at that moment, I think the body was claiming for like, you stop a bit. Like you are in a fast pace that you have to stop. So for me, it was like a week of, okay, this is too much for me now, and I need to relax. So this personally was a moment to stop and to listen to myself and to reconnect with the mission. Because sometimes when you are in the loop, you are just working and doing tasks. And it was like, yes, I'm in the place I want to be. So I get the power and I continue. In terms of business, 43% of our business that day was coming from food service, so from restaurants, because we are very strong in restaurants, because we believe through restaurants we can deliver great experiences that will show people that plant-based meat means enjoying the same as actually traditional meat. So obviously we have had to change a little bit the team and trying to put some people more in retail and trying to restructure and also be a help to restaurants because they were suffering. But I think like trying to get the best out of it, and I have a positive mindset. I think something that has happened is that we connected the dots. We've seen that the health of humans connects with the health of animals and with the health of the planet. And when one is missing, we are all interconnected. So then the other one is affected. So we have to take care of the animals. We have to take care of our health. We have to take care of the health of the planet. Because if not, consequences like at the end affects to your ego, to your person, because it will come to you. So in these terms, I think people kind of like stopped and seen the consequences of the current system. And it's obvious that we have to change the current system. It's broken.
You know, Bernat, I tell my company that I don't like the term new normal, that when we're all vaccinated and going back to our lives again, God willing, science is winning, 6-8 months from now, things are going to go back to some sort of normalcy. But I don't like the terminology new normal. I really think that's a white flag and that's a surrender. I love the terminology new better. I use new better as the way, as a leader here at our company, but also just in my conversations with great people like you. And so I feel that good leaders have gotten better during this period, and also good companies have gotten better, and in terms of working together, becoming more resilient and and coming up with more opportunities than they ever dreamed of before. Do you feel the same with your company?
Now that you were saying this, I was thinking about how many things have happened that would not have happened without this, actually.
Right.
We actually create alliances with so many like projects, NGOs. We created something great, the first lobby, for plant-based lobby at the European Parliament that pushes for plant-based and actually stopped one big regulation that wanted to call plant-based burger like veggie discs. So we stopped that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, that was awkward.
Oh my gosh.
that was very awkward. But yeah, like actually a lot of alliances started from this period, and hopefully, and I'm very hopeful that we'll stay in this new better that you say, and hopefully it's a new better and not a new normal, but because the normal wasn't working.
It wasn't. You have to go do a new better to make the world a better place. And I bet you your team is even closer than ever before. I bet you your 39 people today are closer than they were on March 1st of last year.
It's crazy because I am a very people person and I was very worried. The thing that worried me the most when we closed the office, it was, we will lose this. We'll lose this vibe. The fact that we are here to change the world together. And we did not.
Right.
Actually, we are there and we have so many new people, and they came, we met online, but we are there, like working the same.
And the vibe is still there, even though you're not sitting next to them.
It's crazy. Like,
but I feel the vibe from you, so that's why you put the vibe out there. I feel the vibe from you, and we're sitting in Fresno and Barcelona right now.
Thanks. Hopefully, I have some good vibes.
You have great vibes. And then for our listeners who want to learn more about Bernat and his great vibes, and you go to www. and Huera Foods, go to Heura, Heura foods.com. You gotta love a brand that has a smiley face in its logo. You gotta love that kind of brand. I mean, there's no not having a good vibe. Just looking at your logo makes me smile. Eating your food is going to make me so smiling and happy. So, have you learned out of this COVID-19 tragic period or not? Do you think people now have taken more self-reflection and are realizing they need to live some form of healthier lifestyle, which is ultimately going to benefit Heura and other great brands like yours, because they're going to just eat better, live better, and want to be healthier in general? Is that something that's going to come out of this tragic period?
I think it is for sure. Like I've seen it in my group of friends, my family. I've seen how they're changing, and it's crazy. Like changes that you would not have imagined in the past are happening now, and it's happening because also like supermarkets and restaurants now are delivering the options. And I think this is very important because something that Mark comes from the activism, like animal activism, with recording farms and seeing like what's happening behind the walls of the farms and like all the bad that's going on there. And at some point he came with, yes, people are getting more conscious, people are getting more information, but people, when they go to a supermarket, they find a white block of tofu with no attractive communication. How are we going to change the world like that? We need tools. We need to deliver like attractive products, because at the end we have to be honest. When I think about my past, when I think about my favorite moments in my life, a lot of those moments have meat on the table, or have meat on the barbecue,
right?
Or it's my grandma cooking meat,
right?
And this is very cultural. I mean, it's so difficult to replace those moments. So that's why we do plant-based meat. And we think that through plant-based meat, we can change the world faster than through legumes or through lentils. Because lentils are great, and hopefully lentils could change the world.
Right.
But they've been there and they did not. So we have to find those tools that accelerate this change.
I never heard of it that way, but you're so right. You and I are both ethnic. You're Spanish, I'm Armenian. And all the great events in our life, both happy and sad, and celebrations and parties and family events, are all around meat-based products. So that's such a brilliant thought that I've never heard anybody say that, but you're so right. Makes so much sense.
So cultural. And in the Mediterranean, I think everywhere in the world, but I'm talking about my culture, Mediterranean culture, we like to share tables, to enjoy cooking, to talk about food, and meat is always there. So we just need to provide better meat, because meat is great. I love almost everything about the dishes my grandma used to make to me.
Right.
I just don't like the consequences of it. So now my grandma cooks the same dish with Heura. And it's great. It's the same. It's the same. It feels the same.
And how proud is she to use your products? How proud is your grandmother to cook with your products?
Oh God, she is like I would love to show you her Facebook profile. She is very nerdy, and she always shares the recipes and talks to these 80 years old like neighbors and they talk about plant-based meat and how to reduce the amount of meat they eat. And it's like 80 years old grandmas are talking about this. Like, I'm so hopeful this change will come.
That's so great. Next time we do an interview, I want you to bring your grandma on with you, and I want her to talk about it.
Please.
Come on, we have to do that. That will be really special, because it's going to show the generational acceptance and excitement about what you're doing. It's amazing.
No, it's great. Like, I'm very proud of her as well, because I think like someone that is at this age can stop making changes.
How old is she? How old is she?
81.
And what's her name?
Montserrat.
So beautiful. So you just showed, even at 81, someone could, after a lifetime of doing something, they could change their mindset to make an improvement.
It's crazy. Wow. It's just,
People think we just get fixed in our ways and there's no changing. And you just proved that that's not true at all.
Yeah, no, you can always have a step forward.
Okay, we're going to bring her on next time. And for our, and listen,
sure.
do you have any other places you want our listeners to be able to find you on social media or anything else? Please use this time to give a shout out before we have to say goodnight for today.
Cool. Yeah, like we use mostly Instagram. So on Instagram, you can go at eurafoods.com. No, .com. No, this is our website at eurafoods. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah, and we are in all the rest of the platforms: Twitter, Facebook, TikTok.
Perfect. But you focus on Instagram. So our listeners and viewers who want to follow your messaging and the democratization of information that you're putting out there on good plant-based eating, or if they just want to join your movement to be a good rebel, they go to the Instagram page.
Yes.
Awesome.
Hope to see you there.
Well, this is great. Bernat, you know, you're just a joy. I got such positive vibes from you. I'm now joining the Weta Foods movement. I'm going to be a good rebel now, and I'm going to use good rebel. We're going to all become good rebels in this planet.
Yeah.
And make the world a better place. You for sure are making major impacts. You and Mark, you for sure are making the world a better place. And I'm so grateful. I wish you a continued successful journey. And I can't wait to have you and your grandma back on with us again. And I can't wait to share a meal with you and Mark in Spain, eating your delicious plant-based food. Thank you again for your time today. Continued success.
No, thank you. And like we make major success, as you said, but without the platforms as yours, it would not happen. Like it's just that, like we did not have a lot of resources, and we had the help of so many people that wanted to share this and to share the Euro boys around the world. So thank you very much, because like without this, Euro would go much slower than it is going.
It's an honor. It's an honor, Bernat. Till we meet again, which will be soon.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
This edition of the Impact Podcast is brought to you by The Marketing Masters. The Marketing Masters is a boutique marketing agency offering website development and digital marketing services to small and medium businesses across America. For more information on how they can help you grow your business online, please visit themarketingmasters.com.